Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2.2 executive diesel. This particular car is registered RJ06WLU, and the mileage is a substantial 185,789 miles. The reason for doing all of our videos, whether they be top end or lower end in terms of price, is very simple. It's to ensure that if anyone's looking online, they get to see the cars we're advertising actually in operation. The reason we feel it's important is basically because we know to our cost just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in the description, only to get there and find out it's got a fundamental issue which you'd much rather known about before setting off. So hence that's why we do it. So coming to the car itself, this car's coming in as a part exchange to us. We know we sold this car originally to the couple many years ago. Then they bought another CR-V, which tells its own story. It's obviously done quite a few miles. It's going to be going for, what's it, Daisy? Pigeon? Going for an MOT hopefully over the next couple of days. They are going to be doing, because we like to pick up on things before MOTs quite clearly. It's got a little drop link which is only 20 quid, but I can hear it chattering on the front of the car, so that's going to be done as part of the MOT of the vehicle, or prior to the MOT, and obviously then everything else will be checked. But doing the mechanical stuff, engine starts instantly and settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge I'll do later in the video, because I try and do them, especially when they're older, with a few more miles, from cold, so that if there's any issues at different temperatures you get to know about it. The engines are just brilliant. I mean, this is a typical of the breed. It's a smooth, quiet diesel, and you would never believe, just driving the car and the sound of the engine, they've done the miles it's done, because it sounds exactly like one done 50,000 miles. It's very smooth, pulls with real guts, just a joyous engine to use. It really is. Engine then feeds through into clutch and gearbox. You get the 6-speed gearbox in this generation CR-V. It was the first one they put into on the diesels. Clutch bite point's exactly where it's meant to be. It's smooth in operation. There's no vibrations when the clutch is out or in, or any change in vibration. Pedals generally good. There's only you get a bit of a dry squeak on occasions, which is they're common for it, just a bit of lubrication really, but it's just a tiny bit right at the top of the pedal travel there. I'm being stupidly critical really, but I'm trying to pick up on anything I possibly can. The gearbox is brilliant. 6-speed box. Gear change feels pretty much like new. It's smooth, it's precise, it's tight in the gears. Feels absolutely fantastic. They always do. I mean, their engines, gearboxes have always been absolutely fantastic, and this is no different. So it changes absolutely wonderfully, even by very modern standards. That's better than most manufacturers give you in this day and age. Crikey, the weather's turned rather nasty. Steering on the car, again, for the miles the car's done, it drives well. It's what you expect of a Honda. They put these things together very, very well indeed. It tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations from the steering at the speed or any speed up to the legal limit, but it still feels like a lovely tight power steering system on the road. And it's of that wonderful age where they use hydraulic fluid rather than electric steering, so you actually get real feel, and it just feels wonderful on the road, as I said. But it just feels very, very tight, which you wouldn't expect with the kind of mileage it's done. Same goes with the suspension. Very smooth and comfortable. Goes to the corners really nicely. They've always done this, Honda. It's a really nice setup. And as I said, the only thing we've found driving the car is that chattering for that front anti-roll bar link. But as I said, £20 and 20 quid to fit it roughly. It's going to be done. So that's the only thing I can find, because it feels taut, solid on the road, all in really, really fine order. just going to swing around here. I'm going to give the brakes a bit of a thump in a second. But it really does pull well. You put your foot down and it just picks up and goes. Wow. Right, just going to get to hold things and just give them a good old shove. Ooh, which one was coming behind me? Yeah, all fine. It's what I'm looking for is any kind of obvious kind of pulsing or vibrations. They're not like modern brakes where they're really sort of jam you forward, but they're effective, they work, and obviously they're going to be checked as part of MOT anyway, so all good. Coming inside the vehicle, it's astonishing really. I mean, obviously it could just do with the clean, basically. That's but it's been kept generally well. Again, probably far better than most of its age. Really sought after with this interior colour, by the way, as well, and the leather works in very, very good condition. Dashboard, I mean, it's just beautifully built. There's no, I can't hear any squeaks or rattles from the interior at all, which is, I said, amazing for a car this age and mileage. The only things that merit to mention, radio works, that's all fine. Very common on these. DV disc is reading error, so don't think it's got sat nav because it doesn't work. It could be that you could put a new disc in, but actually, if we're honest, the most common thing you find is the disc readers fail, and you actually have to have those replaced, and it's just not economic to do it on a car this price. And given the fact that your phone's better than the sat nav that was ever in there, it's certainly not worth doing. Same goes to the air conditioning. I'm not sure whether I can feel any cold air coming out. I think it's trying. So it either could do with gassing, or it may need more than that. But certainly it's trying to find its feet with the thing. That was just, it might be working, but as I said, I cannot guarantee that, nor will we. Heated seats do work. I tried those, which is a nice thing to see. Not that we particularly need them in the middle of summer, although it doesn't feel like summer today. Dash in front, it's just nice, simple, beautifully displayed dials as you'd expect of a Honda. But it just feels, it isn't a new car. I'm not going to pretend it is. But for a car that's 15 years old and has covered 180,000 miles or so, it drives, I'd venture to say, far, far, far better than most. As always though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.